Ladies and gentlemen, I want to start by saying something important. True love isn't about the things we can give. It's not about the material possessions we buy or the grand gestures we make. The truth is, she doesn't want your money. She just wants you. In today's world, we often get caught up in the belief that love and affection come with a price tag. We're told that the bigger the gift, the stronger the affection. But let me ask you, how many of us have been in relationships where, despite all the gifts, there was still a feeling of emptiness? That's because love is not a transaction. It's about connection. It's about you showing up as your true self, being vulnerable, and offering your time, attention, and heart. We live in a society that equates success with wealth, but the real measure of success in a relationship is your ability to connect. She doesn't want your money. She wants your presence, your time, and your emotional investment. She wants you to be there not just physically, but emotionally. She wants to know that you are truly listening, truly understanding, and truly sharing in life's ups and downs with her. It's easy to be distracted by the desire to impress, but true intimacy is built on vulnerability and authenticity. When you let down the walls and show who you really are, you give the relationship something far more valuable than anything money can buy. You give trust. You give love. You give yourself. Remember this: the richest gift you can give in a relationship is not gold or diamonds. It's your undivided attention, your respect, your understanding, and your genuine care for her happiness. Being present is the greatest luxury you can offer. And in that presence, you'll find that love isn't something you chase. It's something that comes naturally when you invest in each other, when you're real with one another, and when you simply show up. So, as you go forward in your relationships, remember, she doesn't want your money. She wants you, the real, authentic you without the masks, without the pretenses. She wants you to love her, not because you can buy her things, but because you are willing to be there heart and soul. When you offer yourself fully, without holding back, you will find that the most precious gift you can give is not something that can be wrapped in a box. It's your love, your attention, and your authenticity. And that, my friends, is priceless. In relationships, we often fall into the trap of believing that love can be bought, that affection can be measured by the size of a gift or the price tag attached to it. This is a misconception that many of us, consciously or unconsciously, subscribe to. Society frequently reinforces this idea, bombarding us with messages that suggest we can win someone's heart through material means. But the truth is far simpler, and far more profound. Genuine connection, especially in love, transcends the superficial. We live in a world that places tremendous value on wealth, success, and material possessions. From a young age, we're taught that the best way to show we care is by giving expensive gifts, taking someone to fancy restaurants, or offering something that has a price tag. While there's nothing wrong with these acts of kindness, it's crucial to recognize that they are not the foundation of true love. True love is not transactional. It isn't about buying someone's affection, nor is it about proving your worth through extravagant gestures. The reality is, she doesn't want your money. She doesn't want a lavish lifestyle, or a gift that's wrapped in gold. What she truly desires, what she needs, is you, your time, your attention, your emotional presence. She wants to know that you are there for her, that you are present in the moment, not because you feel obligated, but because you genuinely care. Money can never replace emotional intimacy. No amount of material wealth can fill the space that should be occupied by trust, emotional connection, and mutual respect. When we focus too much on material gifts, we overlook the most important aspects of a relationship. Money may buy comfort or convenience, but it cannot buy the deep, soulful connection that makes a relationship meaningful. Think about the relationships that have lasted the longest. Are they the ones where money was constantly being thrown around? Or are they the ones where two people found joy in the small, meaningful moments they shared? In the quiet conversations, the shared laughter, the comforting words when life got tough. Those are the moments that define a lasting bond. It's the intangible things like trust, respect, and emotional vulnerability that truly nurture love. In fact, when we lean too heavily on material things, we may even be masking deeper issues in the relationship. Gifts can sometimes serve as distractions from the real work that needs to be done, building emotional intimacy, understanding one another's needs, and creating a foundation of trust and respect. Gifts, no matter how grand, can't replace the importance of being truly seen, heard, and understood by your partner. No shiny object can make up for the lack of emotional support or connection in a relationship. It's easy to believe that a lavish gift or gesture can somehow fix problems or patch over the cracks in a relationship, but real love requires consistent effort, open communication, and emotional investment. At the heart of it all, the foundation of love is rooted in authenticity. When you are authentic and fully present in a relationship, you are offering something far more valuable than anything money can buy. You are offering your true self, your fears, your hopes, your dreams, and your vulnerabilities. This authenticity is what builds the deep emotional connection that relationships thrive on. Material possessions may be able to provide short-term happiness, but they cannot sustain long-term fulfillment. It's the emotional investment you make, your patience, your compassion, your understanding that truly sustains a relationship. Moreover, the act of being present physically and emotionally is a gift in itself. Your partner wants to know that you are there for her, not because you feel obligated or because you think you need to win her over with expensive gestures, but because you genuinely want to share in her life. Relationships thrive on shared experiences, honest conversations, and a mutual understanding of each other's needs. When you show up fully in this way, the bond that forms is unshakable, not because of what you give, but because of who you are. The most meaningful relationships are those where both people invest emotionally, not just financially. True love is built on a foundation of trust, emotional vulnerability, and shared experiences. It's not about what you can buy or how much you can spend. It's about being present, showing up, and truly giving of yourself. That's the gift that never loses its value, the gift of being who you are in all your authenticity, with no pretenses and no expectations. In the end, she doesn't want your money. She wants you, your heart, your time, your love. That's the most precious gift you can give. And that's what will form the foundation of a relationship that lasts a lifetime. In today's fast-paced, distraction-filled world, one of the most precious things you can offer in a relationship is your presence. When we talk about being present, we aren't merely referring to being physically nearby. It's about giving your full attention, your emotional energy, and your time without distractions. In a world that constantly pulls our attention in different directions, whether it's work, social media, or personal obligations, the true gift of presence can sometimes feel rare. Yet, it's one of the most meaningful ways to show someone that you truly care. We all know that love is about connection, but how can we truly connect if we're constantly distracted, multitasking, or half-heartedly listening? When someone is speaking to us, are we genuinely engaging, or are we thinking about something else? When we are with our partner, are we really with them, or are we merely going through the motions while our minds wander elsewhere? Being emotionally present means showing up in a way that communicates, I am here with you, in this moment, fully and completely. It means that we value the other person enough to give them the best version of ourselves in the here and now, not just in the moments when it's convenient or comfortable. One of the most important aspects of being present is active listening. In relationships, communication is key, and the way we listen can make or break a connection. Active listening goes beyond hearing the words that are being spoken. It involves understanding the feelings, intentions, and emotions behind those words. It requires us to put aside our own thoughts and reactions for a moment and truly engage with what the other person is saying. This doesn't mean just nodding along while our minds drift elsewhere. It means making eye contact, responding thoughtfully, and showing empathy for what the other person is feeling. This level of attention and care helps foster trust and emotional intimacy in a relationship. But presence isn't only about listening. It's also about being emotionally available. Being there for someone means being open to their experiences, their highs and lows, and everything in between. It's about sharing in their joys, offering comfort during their struggles, and providing a safe space where they can be their true selves. In many ways, emotional availability is the bedrock of a healthy relationship. When we are emotionally present, we create a space where our partner feels valued, understood, and supported. This kind of emotional investment builds the trust that is necessary for a lasting and meaningful connection. This level of presence can sometimes be challenging, especially in a world filled with constant distractions. Technology, for instance, has made it easier to stay connected, but it has also made it easier to be distracted. How many times have you found yourself scrolling through your phone while in the middle of a conversation with someone? How many times have you been physically present but mentally elsewhere? These habits can undermine the quality of our relationships because they convey a lack of prioritization. When we fail to give someone our undivided attention, they can feel unimportant, neglected, or undervalued. In a relationship, being present means setting aside the distractions and focusing on what really matters to the person in front of you. This doesn't mean you should neglect your responsibilities or stop using technology, but it's about being intentional with your time and energy. It's about deciding in each moment that the person you are with is worth your full attention. It's about actively choosing to be engaged, to listen, to understand, and to share in the moment. What makes being present so powerful is that it communicates that you care. It shows the other person that they are your priority in that moment. You may not always have the answers or solutions, but simply being there fully present can provide immeasurable comfort and support. There is immense value in just being able to share the space with someone, whether it's through silence, a shared laugh, or an honest conversation. These moments are the threads that weave the fabric of a deep and lasting connection. Being present allows for real, genuine connection. When we are fully engaged in the moment, we open ourselves up to the vulnerability that is necessary for authentic relationships. When we are emotionally available, we allow our partner to see us as we truly are, flaws, fears, and all. This creates a bond based not on superficialities, but on a shared sense of trust and understanding. Being present doesn't always have to be dramatic or life-changing. Sometimes, the most significant moments come from the small things, the quiet times, the shared glances, the conversations that seem insignificant but actually speak volumes about your connection. It's in these moments that love is nurtured and grows, not through grand gestures or expensive gifts, but through the simple yet powerful act of showing up and being there. When you choose to be present, you're not just giving someone your time, you're giving them a part of yourself, a part that can't be bought, replaced, or taken for granted. And in this way, presence becomes one of the greatest gifts you can give in any relationship. When we consider what truly matters in a relationship, it's easy to get caught up in the idea of external validation presence, status, appearances. However, when we strip away the material things, what remains at the core of a meaningful connection is emotional intimacy. This depth of connection is something that cannot be bought, nor can it be faked. Emotional intimacy requires time, vulnerability, and consistent effort from both parties involved. It is the very thing that sustains a relationship, allowing it to thrive long after the initial sparks fade. And it is what most people, especially women, desire more than any material possession. Emotional intimacy means being able to share not just your joy, but your fears, your dreams, and your vulnerabilities. It's about being real with one another, creating a safe space where both people can drop the masks they wear in the outside world. For many, this level of closeness can feel uncomfortable at first, especially in a society that encourages self-sufficiency and often values independence over connection. But when both partners are willing to open up and embrace this emotional vulnerability, something beautiful happens, the bond deepens, and the relationship becomes stronger, more resilient, and more fulfilling. For women in particular, emotional intimacy is often at the heart of their desires in a relationship. While many might appreciate the occasional thoughtful gesture or material gift, these things are never as fulfilling as feeling truly understood, valued, and loved for who they are at their core. Too often, society tells us that women should be impressed by the grandeur of gifts, the luxury of experiences, or the show of wealth. While those things can be fun or appreciated in their own right, they are fleeting. They don't provide the long-lasting sense of connection that comes from being emotionally seen and supported. In many ways, emotional intimacy is about shared experiences. It's about navigating life together, weathering its ups and downs, and being there for one another during both the triumphs and the challenges. Think about the most meaningful connections in your life. Are they not the relationships where you've experienced growth together? The ones where you've been able to speak openly about your fears, your past, your vulnerabilities, and your ambitions? These are the connections that create a lasting sense of unity. They are not based on external factors, but on a mutual understanding and emotional connection that sustains through the years. This level of intimacy also goes hand in hand with trust. When you are emotionally intimate with someone, you are letting them into your world in a way that most people are not allowed. You are showing them the parts of yourself that are often hidden, sometimes even from yourself. This can be a deeply freeing experience, but it also requires vulnerability, which can feel scary. But the beauty of emotional intimacy is that it provides a safe space where both partners can trust one another, knowing that they won't be judged, rejected, or abandoned for their flaws or insecurities. It's a space where the other person is not only supportive, but empathetic, truly understanding what you are going through. For many women, the desire for emotional intimacy is not just about receiving care, but about giving it as well. Relationships are built on a give-and-take dynamic, where both partners nurture one another's emotional needs. This is what allows a relationship to grow beyond the superficial and into a place of deep emotional connection. When you are able to be emotionally available, to show up for your partner, and offer them the same vulnerability and understanding they provide you, you are contributing to a relationship that feels secure, safe, and truly fulfilling. This emotional connection is what makes a person feel truly loved and valued, not because of anything material, but because of the emotional support and understanding that is present. It is about feeling comfortable in each other's presence, knowing that you are accepted for who you are, and that you can express yourself without fear of rejection or criticism. It's about the little things like holding hands during tough times, offering a comforting word when things feel overwhelming, or simply sharing a quiet moment of understanding. These moments may seem small, but they have a profound impact on the strength and depth of a relationship. Emotional intimacy is also what allows a relationship to grow and evolve over time. It's not just about the shared experiences of the past, but about creating a future together where both people feel seen, heard, and valued. Without emotional intimacy, a relationship risks becoming stagnant, based only on routine or convenience. With emotional intimacy, however, the bond deepens with each new experience, challenge, and moment of shared joy. Ultimately, emotional intimacy is the foundation of any meaningful relationship. While gifts, appearances, and status may provide temporary satisfaction, they can never replace the deep, lasting connection that comes from being emotionally available, vulnerable, and engaged with one another. For women, this is often the most desired aspect of a relationship. The feeling of being truly loved, not for what they can provide or what they can give, but for who they are at their core. When you offer emotional intimacy, you are giving something that cannot be measured by price, only by its profound impact on the heart and soul. In any relationship, it's easy to get caught up in the idea that love is demonstrated through grand gestures or material possessions. We often hear about the importance of gifts, status, or financial success in romantic connections. But in reality, these things hold less significance when compared to something much more valuable, the gift of your time and energy. When a woman expresses that she doesn't want your money, what she's really asking for is the most precious thing you have: offer your undivided attention, your genuine presence, and your emotional investment. Time is one of the most finite resources we have. We can always earn more money, but once time has passed, we can never get it back. This makes the act of giving someone your time and attention incredibly meaningful. When you choose to spend time with someone, you are offering them something that is irreplaceable. It's a powerful statement that says, "You are worth my time. I am willing to invest in you and this relationship." In many ways, time reflects your priorities. If you want to show someone that they matter, the simplest and most direct way is to give them your attention. It doesn't need to be a special occasion or a celebration to demonstrate this. The small, everyday moments when you pause from your busy schedule to listen, to connect, or to just be present with them can make all the difference. In fact, these are often the moments that mean the most. This isn't to say that material gifts or acts of service are not appreciated. They certainly can be. But what truly resonates with people, especially women, is the idea that you are emotionally available, that you are willing to put down your distractions and be fully engaged with them. In a world where many are constantly juggling work, social media, and a multitude of responsibilities, the simple act of someone showing up and being fully present speaks volumes. It creates a sense of connection that no material object can replicate. Being present with someone is more than just being physically in the same place. It's about being emotionally attuned to them, understanding their needs, being aware of their feelings, and offering your support when necessary. It's about putting aside your own concerns, your phone, and your to-do list to focus on the person in front of you. This level of emotional investment can be incredibly powerful, and it's often what people seek most in a partner. Women, in particular, often desire emotional availability in relationships, not because they need you to solve all their problems, but because they want to feel heard, seen, and understood. When you give someone your time, you are offering them the space to be their authentic selves without judgment. This allows for vulnerability, which is essential for building trust and deepening the emotional bond. It creates a space where both individuals can grow, share their experiences, and navigate life's challenges together. It's in these moments that true connection is made, not through material wealth, but through shared experiences, emotional openness, and a mutual investment in one another's well-being. The act of giving time is also tied to the importance of quality over quantity. It's not about how many hours you spend together, but how meaningful those hours are. You could spend an entire day together, but if you're not emotionally present, or if your mind is elsewhere, the connection will remain superficial. On the other hand, even a short amount of time spent fully engaged, where both people feel valued and understood, can make a lasting impact. The key is to be intentional with your time. When you give it wholeheartedly. This principle of investing time into a relationship extends beyond romantic connections. It applies to friendships, family dynamics, and professional relationships as well. The simple truth is that people remember how you make them feel, not what you give them. By showing up and being emotionally available, you show that you value them as individuals, not just as a means to an end. It's in this space that trust is built and relationships are nurtured. This idea also emphasizes the importance of prioritizing the people in your life. When you value someone, you make them a priority, and this is reflected in how you spend your time. It means setting aside time for the people who matter, not just in times of need, but during the regular moments of life. Being present is an ongoing act. It's not something you do once in a while or only when it's convenient. It's about consistently choosing to invest in your relationships, showing up even when it's hard, and demonstrating that you are committed to the bond. In essence, the message is clear. The most meaningful gift you can give in any relationship is your time and presence. This is what people crave, not flashy gifts, not material wealth, but the genuine attention and emotional connection that comes from investing in one another. Women in particular want to know that they are a priority in your life and that your love for them is not conditional on anything external, but rooted in the mutual respect, understanding, and time that you share together. Time is a gift that, when given wholeheartedly, speaks louder than anything money can buy.